side-eyeing those major banks because there are better options out there in my opinion. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Reni. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I really appreciate each and every one of you taking your time out of your busy day to watch this video. On my channel, I do fashion, finance, lifestyle, and a little bit of everything else. So if you're interested in that, make sure you check out my other videos. Today's video is going to be specifically about finance. So I did a video recently and it did pretty well, and it was talking about the 7 different sources of income and how I have 5 sources of income at the age of 24. If you want to watch that video, make sure you watch it. I'll leave it up here or here, whichever one it is. I'll leave it in the cards above and in the description box below. In that video, I really emphasized how you need to have multiple sources of income, and I spoke about how interest income is one of the sources of income that you can have. So this third form of income is interest income. Interest income is essentially when you are getting interest from loaning your money to someone or some organization. Many people don't consider this income really, but when you give your money to the bank and you put it in your bank account as in the savings account, that is interest income that you're getting because the bank is actually making money off you having your money there. They're loaning your money out to other people. So they at least give you a little sum in order to make it worth your while to give them your money. I am a big proponent of investing your money and making your money work for you, but you also do need to have an emergency fund. And I will make a video all about an emergency fund and the importance of that. But I really want to emphasize where a great place to hold your emergency fund would be, and that is a high interest savings account. So a high interest savings account, as the name suggests, is a savings account that gives you a higher interest rate than a typical savings account. To begin, comment down below which bank you currently have your high interest savings account with. If you want to know the difference between a checking account and a savings account, I will leave that video above right here. And remember, this content is focused on Canada, so if you are not in Canada, unfortunately this may not be applicable to you. So let's just dive right into this video. I will be comparing the high interest savings account across the 5 major banks and some of the smaller banks that we have in Canada. With my research, I really noticed that the big 5 banks are not doing much for us. There are lots of better options. So right now, I will start with the ones that I deem as the worst high interest savings accounts to the ones that are the best in my opinion. And this is in November 2020, so if you're watching 6 months later, this may not be applicable. They may have changed their rates as they change pretty often, but I hope this is helpful. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe right now, and we'll just get into it right now. So the first bank that I will mention is TD Bank. TD Bank is known for being the bank of like newcomers to Canada, and it's one of the staple banks, one of the largest banks in Canada, and it's really one that lots of people choose to go with. Personally, this is one of the first bank accounts I ever had. My parents opened it when we moved to Canada when I was 4 years old. So I really had this account for a long time. And honestly, I just checked the details of their high interest savings account, which I have one of them, and I'm not very impressed by it at all. So this would be the worst rated out of the ones that I will mention today. TD Bank has a TD high interest savings account, and then they have the TD ePremium savings. So the features of the account would be that there is no minimum balance required for either one, which is typical of all of these accounts. They don't require you to have a certain minimum balance in the account, except for the high interest savings account. For this one, if you have $25,000 or more in your account, the fees are waived. If you do not, they charge you $5 per transaction. So if you want to take money out of your account, they're charging you $5. That's a bit ridiculous in my opinion. I think they should at least give you 1 or 2 a month. Usually savings accounts do have very little transactions that you're allowed for free, so maybe you can do 1 transaction for free. That's typical of high interest savings accounts because they want you to keep the money in the account. But to have no transfers at all does not make any sense in my opinion. So this account is really marketed as, oh, you're getting free. It's a way to build your savings and everything, but when you actually go into the details and look at the interest rate, there's actually no interest rate on your first $5,000 in the high interest savings account, and in the ePremium savings account, there's actually no interest on the first $9,000. So what is the point? Like, most people do not have $9,000 or $10,000 that they're just leaving in a bank account. Most people are putting a few $100s every month and hoping that it will accumulate over the next few months. So if you do not have a large sum of income, there is really no benefit of having this account. You might as well just keep it under your mattress because there's no interest on it. So I've had this account, never realizing that I'm not actually getting much benefits out of this account. So I actually took my money out of this account while I was researching for this video. Most of the people watching me do not have more than $10,000 that they're just leaving in an account, so you're not getting any interest. So I personally would avoid this one. The next bank that I will analyze is RBC. Their bank account is called the RBC High Interest eSavings account. And this would be the second worst bank account that I will say, and it has 0.05% interest. What is that? That is nothing. Like, it's abysmal. It's tragic. It's not worth your time, in my opinion, but to each their own. There's no monthly fee, which is good, and unlike TD, they actually give you one transfer each month, so you have one free transaction, and after that it's $5 per transaction. So you can see that it's slightly better than TD's, but honestly it's not much better. They also have a $1 e-transfer, so if you want to transfer directly from your savings account, it is $1 to do so. So the next one I will cover is CIBC. So CIBC has the CIBC eAdvantage savings account, and they currently have a promotion going on where so there's 1.5% interest, which is pretty good, especially compared to the abysmal rates that the other banks were giving. But it is, so 1.45 of that is for the first 120 days. So this is the promotion that they're giving to get people to deposit money in the bank. So 1.45, pretty good, and then that 0.05 is the base rate, which they typically give. So that 1.45% lasts for the first 120 days, and once that 120 days is done, it will go down to the 0.05%. There are 0 monthly fees, there's no minimum balance, just like the other two accounts, and they also have that $5 transaction fee. So I'm not really a fan of it, but it's better than the other two for sure. The next account I will mention is BMO. So BMO has two high interest savings accounts. The first one is BMO Smart Saver, and the next one is BMO Savings Builder. So out of the two, I'm a fan of the BMO Savings Builder account. They are both free accounts with no monthly fees, and they both have $0 minimum. So you can put as little or as much money as you want. The interest starts from the first dollar that you put in. And in the Smart Saver account, it is 0.05. Also the same as TD, so it's like, yeah, the only benefit is that you have one monthly transfer that is free. But in the other account, the Savings Builder, I like this account because for every $200 that you put in, they will increase your interest rate to 0.5%. So it's not an amazing interest rate, but I really like this one because it really forces you to save. So I know that if I put $100 every month into my savings account, I will get 0.05% interest on my money. But if I put an extra 100, so I put $200 a month, I will get 0.5%. So it acts as an incentive to save. So as I was researching, I found that of those major banks that I just mentioned, the typical banks that we would normally go to, their rates are not the best, as you can see, but the smaller subsidiaries that they have, like Tangerine, like Simplii, like EQ Bank, those are much better, and they're more competitive in their rates. So the next three that I mentioned will be ones from these smaller banks where they may not have a physical location, they may be totally online, but their rates are definitely better. So the next bank I will mention is Simplii. So Simplii has a 2% interest rate, and their account is called the Simplii High Interest Savings Account. 2% interest rate, which is higher than every other bank that I've mentioned so far. They have 0 minimum balance and a $500,000 maximum balance. The benefit that I like of these smaller banks is that you can withdraw your cash at any time with no fees. There are no monthly fees for the account, so it's obviously much better than those other fees. The only catch with this rate is that it starts October 1st and then it will end April 2021. I'm not sure what the rate will go down to in April 2021, but if you can use is that 5 months or 6 months to start accumulating interest, that is a great place for you to be because it's way more interest than you will get in any of the other banks that I've mentioned so far. So the next one that I will mention is EQ Bank. So this is EQ Equitable Bank, and it's not, I guess it's not a very well-known bank in Canada, but it is, they actually have a great deal that's going on right now. I actually decided to open this account. This is not sponsored, by the way. If you want to sponsor me, hit me up, but this is not sponsored. Equitable Bank has a deal that's going on right now. I actually decided to go in or go online and open my own account. It actually took like 2 or 3 minutes to open this account. It is the EQ Bank Savings Plus account. The interest rate is 1.5%, so a little bit lower than Simplii's, but there is no expiry date that I can see. I'm sure they will like change it one day, but from what I saw on the website, I couldn't see the expiry date of this rate. There is no minimum balance, there are no fees, you can withdraw your money at any time. So I decided to open this account. I really liked it. It seems like it's gonna go on for the foreseeable future, and I really suggest this account. If you want to open this account, I have a promo code where I get $20 and you get $20 when we both use my promo code. So it's a win-win. I suggest you open it. I will put the code right here, and I will also put it in my description box so you can just click on it and you can open your account. Honestly, it took me 2 minutes. Like, it was quick, easy. I really suggest this. One caveat with this, the maximum balance that you can put in is 200,000, but I think most of us do not have 200,000 just laying around that we can put in the account, so no qualms with that. And last but not least, we have Tangerine Bank. So Tangerine Bank is one of the smaller banks as well, but they have a great promo that's going on, and unfortunately it's only till November 23rd. So the account is called the Tangerine Savings Account. So the rates is 2.15%. It is higher than every other bank that I've mentioned so far, and the rate will last you for 150 days from the day that you sign up. So it will last 150 days, and then it goes down to 0.15%. So the rate is the rate that it decreases to is still higher than the rate of like the other banks, even when it's at its lowest base rate. So there's no minimum balance, no monthly fees, no transaction fees. Like it's a win-win. I don't see why anyone would choose not to go with this one. And again, you can sign up online for this as well. They also have a great deal where if you set up a recurring payment, so you do auto deposit. So every time you get a paycheck, it automatically takes $200 out, for example, and puts it in the account. They will then give you an extra $200 if you do this for 3 months. So there are lots of benefits of going with Tangerine. I hope that I gave you all of your options and that you were able to decide which one is right for you. Remember, your income interest is not like a huge sum of interest unless you have a lot of money that you're putting into your savings account. However, it is a good way to keep making income on the money that is in your emergency fund. If you want to see that video about the emergency fund and why it's so important, just leave that comment down below and I will get that done for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you are looking at your options and maybe side-eyeing those major banks because there are better options out there in my opinion. Thank you once again and have a great day, everyone. Bye.